Hello. Yes, and it is indeed.
Hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. As I'm playing around here, I'm Annette McCoy, and it's always my joy to be with you at this time on a Thursday morning here in Melbourne. This week with me is Elaine Ann. Elaine Ann is an absolute whiz with numbers. Welcome, Elaine.
Thank you, Annette. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Our pleasure, because I know lots and lots of people are waiting to hear what you have to say. And I know that a lot of them are going to be ringing. We can't ring, but we can chat in the chat room. And
Yes.
I can see that Anna's already put in a gorgeous message welcoming people today. So thank you, Anaya.
Thank you, Anaya.
Wants to know about what their numbers specifically mean for today, hop into the chat via Angel Heart Radio, and Elaine will have great delight in telling you what you can expect. Now,
yes.
Elaine, numbers can really help us, can't they?
Yes, they can. They can. It's the vibration of the number, sort of like in your name or the day you were born. So it does represent, you could not like someone and then find out that their number doesn't resonate with you and things like that. But there's always a good thing with numbers. They open the doors for different things, and you can even work out special days. Like if you're a life number 1, anything that starts with the 1 is a good day. Well, every month basically is a good day, the first of every month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so sort of like if you look at, say, what life number are you, Annette?
What life?
Yeah, can you remember what I did? No, that's all right. That's all right. So we'll just pick a number out. We'll go the 25th, which is a 7, say, of this month, right?
Right. Can we
say your birthday's the 27th of this month?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that becomes 27 and 3 is 30.
Yeah.
Then you add, say, your year numbers equals a 6. So that's 36. Anything with a 9 in it, so like the day or month. So that would bring in a good day for interviews, a good day for looking at opening new doors for yourself. So it would bring in a lot of, say, like if you're scheduling something for a wedding or anything, you can go by your numbers as well.
Right.
And sometimes you can place the wedding, you can place the man's numbers and the female numbers on top of one another and work out what they're working out together, because the overabundance of a number is where you're working from. So you might have 5 5s and all the rest are either 2 or 3 from 1 to 9 in their chart. So you'd say, okay, they're working working together to step out of their comfort zone. Did I make sense there?
Yes.
Ruffling on.
So do people come to you and ask about specific dates?
No, only their birth dates, but I do cards as well, but they're not numerology cards. They're called Lenono cards. Mm-hmm. And they're from Lenormand, but there's a shorter version. My girlfriend Karen Dalton Smith showed me how to read them, which I am really grateful for, and also speak to spirit. But the numerology gives me a fair idea month by month or what year people are in. So they may be having emotional and don't know why they're emotional. So you look at each month or look at their personal year. So you have your life number, which stays with you for the whole life.
Yeah.
And then you have your day number, month number, universal number, and that's all about the universal number is the year you're born. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah. So then you add it all up and say you're a life number 8. So that's saying I'm back here to learn again, karmic lessons, but business minded. And you may have a hidden 4 or a 4 in your birthday, say for April. That would say you're very good putting money or working hard at bringing the money in. So you're very, they're both power numbers, as in the 4 plants the seeds. It's about comfort. It's about your 4 walls. But the 8 is saying you're going to reap the rewards by opening or what the seeds you've planted. And the 8 will reap the rewards because the 8 is all about business, money. And normally with an 8, it's the control. I want to take control. They make very good business people, but they make very good actors too. Like number 8s, yeah, because they're and 5s because they're out there and they're showing people their wares. So with a 2, a life number 2, it's the analytical mind, but they wear their heart on their sleeve. It's what they call the mum number, because the number 1 is the dad, or father. The second, number 2 is the mother, and then the 3rd is the child. Now, each in your grid, which I've just quickly drawn one here, if you can see it.
Yes.
See the 1 and 9? The top row is your head. The middle part is your heart or sensitivity. And this one down here, that's all about, it's more about your grounding. Okay, so when I do a reading, I do that noughts and crosses thing. I'm not playing noughts and crosses, but you get my drift. But each line means something vertically and horizontally, and downwards and across. They all mean something. And even with your missing numbers, that's what you're trying to achieve. Okay, so it's a hidden gender, basically. So say if you haven't got a 2 or a 6 in your birthday, that becomes the 8. So that says I'm working on taking control of things in my life. But what are your karma? Because 8 is karmic as well. So people that come into your life for a minute, they go because your karmic lesson has been dealt with and the contracts are finished. And it's the same as I can't prove it, but they say children choose their parents for their learning, but for the children as well, teach the parents. Yeah, so we're so lucky to have our beautiful families.
Yes, yeah.
And see girlfriends too.
Indeed. Now, Elaine, when we look at today, the 24th, that's a 6.
Yes, that's a day 6 it becomes. You're working through the 2 and the 4. 2 is about what is my passion today? What do I feel sensitive about? All right. But it's saying if there's a problem that comes up today, it's looking at it and saying, how can I change it? What can I do with it? But to me, if you on Elaine's little planet, if you let go of the possibilities of changing things, I don't feel you get anywhere. So it's more about just breathing through things. But the 4 is all about your security, stepping in out of your front door and moving on things. because the
Well,
4 is all about building. So you may have, I've got to meet my girlfriends, or someone may ring you because they're needing to cry on your shoulder, because 6 means the care of the world. So the 6 is all about the caring. It's about, you may feel today you've got your fingers in all different pies and you want to change things and you want to be very creative. So you may be looking around your house and then you go, oh, I'll switch this around or I'll switch that around. But with the month 3, that becomes a 9. Okay, because you've got your 3rd month
yes.
and your 6, that
Yes.
becomes a 9. So it's all matters of the head stuff. All right, so you've got your 24th of the 3rd. Oh, can I wish someone a happy birthday?
Yes.
Joan, happy birthday, darling. Have an amazing day. Yeah, it's her birthday today. Of course, or I wouldn't have said it. So, and then you've got your 3, which is a 9. So that is adding it all up together. So if a baby's born today, the life number, so your universal year number for that baby is 2022, right? That becomes a 6. It will say, I'm very emotional, but they've chosen the parents to help them through that. Very intuitive, very psychic. They're going to have analytical mind, but then you've got your 6, and the 6th day is 12, and then you add your 3. 15 becomes a 6, a life number 6 child. So it's working with others, working with people. This child will maybe into music and being artistic and have a flair for creativity, even like gym work and things like that. So if a baby's born tomorrow, they will be in a life number 7. So that is mastering of the soul. They're coming in to learn more, but they have a full brain or filing cabinet full of stuff already. It's just allowing it to open. And see, like the 7 represents self-awareness. It does represent like a police officer or a nurse or something like that. It means authority figure. But if it's on the bottom of the grid, it's saying I'm very down to earth and very practical. Does that make sense?
I've been preoccupied because also we have people in the chat room, including, I take it, is birthday girl Joan, and Sharon has a birthday as well, and she was very grateful for the explanation of the day. So she's found that fascinating, and it's wonderful to have these people there, including Trisha and Darlene. So if anybody would like a specific reading for today or a particular date, maybe you've got a birthday coming up or a wedding day or a baby. I must admit, Elaine, I'm thinking of my gorgeous little granddaughter who's coming up to be 1 next month. And I wonder about the reason, because she came in early actually, the 21st of the 4th.
Yep.
So the 21 is a 3, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So it's Mrs. Have a Chat.
Ah!
So the 2 means she can be a little bit sensitive, but it's also she's super sensitive, as in energies around her.
Right.
But with her 1, the 1 represents, this is what she's working through. So she's working through the 2, I'm sensitive, and she's going to be psychic, or she's going to work with people on another level and pass on information. But she could be a fantastic healer as well. So 2021 she was born.
Yes.
So that becomes a 5. That's 9. She's a life number 3. And her 21 becomes a 3. So she's only got one lesson. The 3 is talking about don't be so negative about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because 3s they seem to chatter up here a lot up here, and
Right.
then when they're chattering, they make a scenario in their head instead of asking people straight out what is going on. Right, once they do that and work out, they don't have to have a lot of friends, because life number 3s choose who they're friends with.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then with her, so till her birthday, for now, from her 21st of the 4th, 2021, till when she's 33, she is going through the 3. So she's learning so much, and it means mind, body, spirit. So it's the triangle that's her symbol.
Okay.
So with her, she's very grounded. She's got the 4 and the 1 there. She's got 2 1s. She's got what's her name?
Darcy.
Sorry?
Darcy.
Darcy?
Yeah. With an
So
IE.
Yeah. So with D, is a 4. So her first part of her name is a 4, but the most important is the E beside it. Is it D-A? Is it D-A?
D-A, yes.
So it's 5. So her name represents all about being a free spirit, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that's how people will perceive her, that she's a free spirit. She could be a flower power child.
It'll be interesting to see her, develop and grow up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elaine.
My pleasure.
Now, we have people requesting readings. Darlene, her birthday is the 28th of October.
So she's Scorpion then? Scorpio?
I would think so.
So, okay, 2022. So, what's her year of birth?
Oh, I didn't ask that. I was sorry.
No, that's all right.
I was only asking.
All right. No, we'll just do for this year.
Yeah.
Okay. So 10, 20, 22, 24, 26. She's in an 8 year, and that's taking control, stepping in her power. People will, there may be friends that may step back away from her, and that's okay, because that's her karmic lessons dealt with. But it's also looking at business or looking at money. It's changing habits. If she's got a bad habit, but we won't call them bad, if she has this habit of doing something over and over again, it's looking at it. It's going to be in front of her. All right. So the 8's taking control, and the 8 doesn't break. It goes around and around and around. Now, her day number is a 10, even though it's 28, but it's on the sensing feeling line, which is the middle line where your heart is. So, and then you've got your 10. See, October people can be very strong-willed. But this year, because she's got 4 2s, which become an 8 as well, she'll be looking at friends and family. But say, like, for instance, if she chooses to leave a job, there will be another job for her. Okay, I know there's jobs out there, don't get me wrong, but sometimes we're fearing that we can't step out of our comfort zone. So when I do her birthday for now, and the 28th represents coming back into this lifetime to take control. Take control of things, whether it's work-wise or starting at the bottom and going up to the top and things like that. Working out friends and family, because she's got the number 2 there. It's looking at partnerships. So it's looking at putting things together. So it's all matters of the heart. And the 8 is saying you may feel, what was that lady's name? Sorry, Darlene? Darlene may be looking at trying to work friendships out. So don't work them out, just go with the flow, because she'll be shown anyway. She can be very spiritual too if she wants to be, because I never push that on. Oh, you're spiritual, you should be working. But she's very, very intuitive, and especially this year because she's got 4 2s.
Wow.
So the 2's the psychic, the intuition, your gut, your mum, that type of stuff. I hope that helps, Darlene.
Well, I'm sure it will. It'll be interesting for a little bit of feedback. Now we have 2 more people waiting patiently. Sharon has given us her actual the year as well, which is very helpful. The 24th of the 8th, 59.
59. Sorry if my table's making 59. Yeah. So that's 10, 19, and 5 is 24. So that's a 6. So her year she was born is a 24-6. Her day number is a 6, and then she's got the 8. So 6 and 6 is 12 plus 8 is 20. My brain was...
Well, so while you're working on that, Darlene has said, yes, that's an awesome reading and it helps a lot. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, Darlene. 202.
I'm amazed at how you can do all of this. So here's Sharon's.
Okay. So with Sharon, hi Sharon. You're the carer and nurturer of the world, because day 6s are always that. And plus you're in a 2 year as well as the day, your life number. So that's looking at partnerships. It's looking at relationships, family. It's all matters of the heart. Your gut be telling you a lot of things today or for this year. Excuse me. Your 6th day is the same as your year you were born. So that's only one lesson, basically. Okay. You have the 4 and the 8 in your birthday. So it means I can put things together. I could be creative. And sometimes people are not creative until they try. Like not try, I hate the word try. As long as it's like stepping out of your comfort zone, because 4s need to know their security is there for them. All right. They need to know the 4 walls and the bottom of the house, the floor is safe to walk on. But sometimes you may need to open a door to step out and say, wow, then nothing's going to hurt you. Nothing. So if you've got a fear of stepping out of your comfort zone, just open the door and say, there's no black cat out there. There's no big black thing out there. I can do what my heart desires, and she's got her 5 there. So the 5 is saying she will, for her the life number, the year she was born. The 5 is about freedom. I want my freedom. And sometimes you may feel restless. And with the what was I going to say? You have the determination line. So the 1, the 5, and the 9 goes up this way. So that's the determination line. So it's not, I'm going to succeed. It's more about she'll always land on her feet. So she's got to believe in herself, because she can be very critical, The other part of a 6, and I hope you don't mind me saying, is anxiety can take a place around you where you, same scenario, different people. It can be, what am I doing wrong? It's not you. It's just you've got the 8th month. So it's saying it's karmic lesson as well. You're back here to help people no matter which way she looks at it. But the 2 is saying the analytical mind, solving things around her, looking at things. She may be very quiet as well, but then she could be out there when she's comfortable with people. Okay, but for this year, she's in the 2, so she's looking at putting things together, looking at maybe being more creative in a way, learning spiritual awareness or anything like that. Because it's a female year too, because the 6 is all about the carer. And I mean, men can be caring as well, don't get me wrong. But the 2 and the double 2 is all about friendships. And if there is anything underneath, it's like all her girlfriends call on her when they're feeling sad, but sometimes it works out that they may, how can I put it, they may sort of not be around her when she's feeling a bit down. So that's because people think she can survive it. She's a strong woman. All right. I hope she enjoyed that. Sheila, what was her name?
Sharon. Well
Sharon.
done.
Sorry, Sharon.
Now we have Joan. And of course, her birthday is this 25th of the 3rd, 59.
25th? Yep. 1959. Oh, they're both the same, like the 59 and 59.
Yes.
So the 2 and the 5, and you've got 2 5s, so sometimes it's a struggle for you to step out of your comfort zone. But with the 3, it's learning to speak up. And with the 25, that's all talking about spirituality, but it's also saying, I need knowledge. I'm full of knowledge. I want more knowledge. The questioner, the inquiring mind. It does say that you are a born healer with the day 7, and your 3 means you've got to pass it on. What you're open to, you've got to spread the word. So it could be something little. Also, with 2 5s, it means freedom of the spirit, but it is looking at changes, quick action, movement. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. But if there's quick action, sometimes you go, yeah, that's great. But with double 5, I've got double 5 in my birthday, you don't like being told what to do, basically. So it's 10 and 6 is 7. She's in a 7 year this year. So it's all learning new skills. But it is saying look after your well-being. So if you're tired, go and lie down. I'm not talking about health. I'm just talking about things around you, what's causing you heartache or what's causing you to feel restless. Because you remember 7 year itch, they used to say. Mm-hmm. So it's movement, it's changing. But it is asking a lot of questions this year. And it's very down to earth, very practical. But it is looking at your spirituality and the inner spirit, not out here, not out in the world. It's more about her healing herself and nurturing herself this year. You know, especially if there's family issues or anything going on. But she's super psychic at the moment. I mean, not at the moment, we're always, but she's open. She's very open if she wants to be into that spiritual sense. And I keep seeing crystals around her, so I'll just leave that. There's a lot of crystals, so I don't know if she wears them or puts them on to protect her. So it's also with the 3 is being honest with herself. Now, with the 7, it's the truth seeker. If you put something out there and you want to know about it, say, universe, show me, or angels, or whoever you believe in or work with, you will be shown, because you've got the 3 there, and the 3 is the communicator from spirit. It's up with the angels. So if she chooses to do that, it's up to her, but it is a very spiritual time for her. Okay.
Wonderful. Now, that was Joan. Interesting, I assumed that was your Joan, who you wished happy birthday. It's not.
No, because I'm going 9:59. That's not her date. She's the same age as me. She's making herself younger. You're allowed to, Joan.
Oh, well, Joan Tyrrell, happy birthday for tomorrow. Now, there's feedback from Sharon. Oh, yes. My gosh, that was so accurate. I am blown away. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Mm.
I love doing what I do.
Well, and that comes through. Yes, you're passionate about it.
Oh,
now we have Vanessa, and Vanessa's dates, which is interesting. The 4th of the 6th, 64. So that's
1964. So her universal number is a 20.
Right.
Okay, because that becomes a 22. And see, anything, she's got a 20. So the 20 represents the 2. I'm not a stick in the mud, but it's like I try and solve things. I like to see the outcome before I step into it. Because the day 4 is talking about the builder. And the day 4s or life number 4s are all about worrywart, but they're the builders of the world. You know, they can be very pedantic, but they also, some, not all 4s, but some, because they're in charge, and she's got 2 4s there, 1964 and a day 4. So it's saying it's a double whammy, but she likes putting things together. The 2 6s, she could be a nurse, she could be very caring, working in the industry of carers. She can also be, what are those people called? I can't think of it at the moment, that sort of someone gives them a job to do for a wedding, not a wedding planner. Yeah, it could be a wedding planner, but something out there that will keep her busy. All right, she needs to be busy because the head takes over. And the 4 is all about planting seeds for your future. Now, that becomes 10, and this year she'll be in a 2022, because you get the influences of the year changing. Okay, so 20, 26, 30. She's a life number 30, which becomes a 3. So it's all about speaking out, not to keep putting herself down, all right, because she has the 2 6s, which can mean anxiety a bit. But we all have a negative and a positive, everybody, all right? Sometimes we have to learn. Excuse me while I pick up my pen. I'm back.
Love it.
So that's 10 and 6 for this year. So that's 16, isn't it? 10 and 6, 16. So she's in a 7 year. So she's working through the responsibility. The 6 is I'm caring for everyone. So she's working through those 2 numbers to work the 7. So 7 is looking at new skills. She may work on her computer. And looking at new things that are coming in for her. The 7 is mastery of the soul. So she's got to look after her well-being, like I said to the other lovely lady. But the 7 is the justice system. If she feels things aren't going right, she's got to look at contracts, as in contracts in front of her. She may be looking at learning new skills in her job. Make sure if she has to sign contracts that they're up and running properly. Okay, because if they're not, I'm just checking something out. Something's telling me something. 4, 1, 6, 6, 9. So she's 20, and there's your 6, and there's your 4. So she could be very creative with writing as well. So making stories, writing stories, or doing self-help other people. So they're very strong with her numbers, are very strong with helping people lift up and change things. All right, given that part of life where she may have gone through stuff where she can help others. But the 7 this year is saying, I'm mastering everything. I want to know more, give me more. But then next year, till her following birthday, she'll be in an 8. So that's saying I'm planting, even though it's very down to earth and very practical, the 7, the universal 6, or 2, is talking about partnership. So she's always looking at how to make everyone happy. All right. But the 4 says, I'll help you ground yourself. And this year, because you put the 7 for this year, she's very down to earth and very practical. What she asks for will come to her. It's just stop self-sacrificing things for others and don't procrastinate. It's not going to come through the door. You have to go and get it. Okay?
Beautiful. Now, I was a little confused. Joan was, it was actually Trish.
Trish.
Trish. And so,
hi, Trish.
And so Trish is saying, thank you so much. This is spot on reading.
Oh, thank you, Trish. It's my pleasure, as always. So that young one, the 1964, that was for
Vanessa. I was taken by the fact that they were the reverse numbers, like the 4th of the 6th, 64. Is that special?
It's just saying she's carrying it through. See the 4 is your first power number. So that is more stronger than the ones at the end. So your month and your year isn't as strong as your day number, because you're waking up every day working on your day number. So with Vanessa, she can start at the bottom of things and always be so creative. It's like sometimes people worry that they're not going to be good enough, or they're not, and the anxiety kicks in. But if she can sort of grab it and say, no, I'm good at everything, because then she's owning things. And I know people say, oh, you've got to believe it. But if you're not believing it right now, with the I am a good person and all this type of stuff, sometimes with a 662, they want to help. But with their children, they want to control their children because they want them to be safe. Okay, so it's saying, I'm your mum. I'm going to make sure no harm comes to you. I know all mums do that, don't get me wrong. But with the 6, they're more, they're the born carers of the world. And so she's a builder of the world as well. So she builds the safety of everything. So she's making sure her home comforts. It's like Annette walking into your home and people don't want to leave. Right? It's because it's your energy. And with Vanessa's energy, she's trying to be everything. Like, I want to help this person, that person. And sometimes 6 in a birthday or a 4, they close the door. They don't want to step out of their comfort zone, which is fine too. There's no right or wrong, especially on Elaine's planet. So this year she's looking at her self-worth
Mm-hmm.
and learning it's okay. It's okay to be who she is.
Mm-hmm.
But on a spiritual level, she'll do really well. She can be a bit bogged down because of the 2-4s, but that's okay. That's how she deals with things.
Right. Well, that's a timely reminder to us all, isn't it? To be content with who we are at the moment. We can strive to be better. That's important too. To accept ourselves as we are in this very moment.
Yes, most definitely. And if we, like people say, you've got to love yourself first, but sometimes our conditioning's not that. You know, we've been taught to love our mum, our dad, our brothers, our sisters, our cousins, or whoever. But we haven't actually been told it's okay to love who you are. Some parents, I'm not saying all parents, don't get me wrong, some parents are very nurturing. But I just find sometimes it was a while for me to love me who I was. And so I'm trying to get out the words to say it's okay to be who you are. And you've come back here for a reason. And I don't know everybody's reasons why they're back, but it could be just to be who you are, learning about who you are, you know. And when you learn and accept you the way you are, or by the way we are, it goes out into the universe and helps other people too. And especially if you believe in past life regression or past lives, you're loving you, and you may never have thought of loving yourself many moons ago. So once you start, it's the spirit within you you're loving and enjoying. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it does take a while for females and males to love who they are and not have that fear of speaking up and going home with that negative thought, oh, they said this and this has pushed a button in me. You know, if you say, what do you mean by that? It will domino effect. I love that dominoes.
Yeah, our buttons are pushed for a reason, aren't they? And it's to look, okay, well, does that fit? Or is it giving me the opportunity to stand up and say, that might be your opinion. It's not how I feel about it.
And see, Vanessa is a 3, life number 3. So she would be all about speaking up, finding her voice. She could be a very good singer. She could be really good out on stage because 3s are the life entertainers. They're stepping out of her comfort zone and going on stage and showing people what she's got. She could be very creative either in front of the camera or behind the camera. You know, it's be like one of the mums, the kids help the kids sew up all their clothes and the kids are on a play at school.
I find this incredible, Elaine, because Vanessa has just put spot on. Thank you, Elaine. If I am very caring of others. I am an energy healer for 18 years, also very creative and make beautiful crystal jewelry. I am super sensitive, 4-6. I do have self-worth issues too, all my life.
That's all right.
I can put my hand up there too, Vanessa.
Yeah, so can I. My hand's up.
We constantly work on, I feel.
Yeah, and see, with her jewelry, her crystal jewelry, it's helping other people. And it's especially if they've got anxiety or anything like that, you know, or grieving or self-love with the rose quartz and stuff, that is helping people, saying someone else cares for you because she's putting her love into her jewelry. And see, sometimes 6 make great cooks and they feed many. You see, so she's got double 6 there. So she could be too perfectionist it's like someone I knew had 6, a life number 6, and a 3 was their day. And they painted a picture and it was awesome. It was fantastic. She was upset it hadn't sold. And I said, someone will walk past the shop and they will go, that's for me. And that's what happened. I said, you channeled that through, because she didn't have it, like it was of a woman and stuff like that. But it was like someone may have felt that in them, that they say that represents me. So she sold it in the shop. But she was panicking. Oh, did I do it right? Is there something wrong with it? And people criticised it. And I said, you shouldn't criticise it, because that was come from her. That's the way she perceived it.
Mm-hmm.
So people might say, oh, can't work out that picture. But that's okay. That's their point of view.
Yes.
Yeah. So I find it fascinating how people may have to learn not to keep judging others, you know, because you don't know what's happening around them. Yeah, but I do love my numbers.
Well, that's a timely reminder too, because a lot of us not only judge others, but we are quick to judge ourselves. And
most definitely. You know, it's like I feel in my heart, if someone's talking to me, they're in my space, they got my full concentration. But sometimes I may walk away and go, Elaine, you should have said this, you should have said that, you should have. And not saying yes to everything. Sometimes you have to say no and then not walk away and say, oh, my God, how am I going to fit all this in, right? Sometimes that can push your buttons where you should have said no, but you can beat yourself up. We can beat our own, you know, the self-sacrificing and things like that, especially with 7s. They always do it. And they're not negative people. They're very proud people of others around them. But sometimes with the 7s, they've got very high expectations and they can't fulfill them. And the only one that gets upset is them.
Yes.
So, yeah. But I love my numbers. And I just find they mean so much, but people just, especially, you know, when they say, oh, it's a special month because it's the 22nd of the 2nd, 22, they cut off the 2 and the 0. That 2 and the 0 means something.
Right.
And that's right. So if sometimes I feel, and everyone's to their own, it doesn't matter, but it's like putting things together. They're taking the 2 out. So you only have the 4 instead of the 6. Yeah, universal year. So, yeah. And it's like finding your name to music. Your vibration, your name works out as a vibration because every letter has a number. All right. And then it's like, so when you can get your vibration and put it to notes, as in music, it's amazing. I've heard mine once before and I went, oh, God. It sounded all over the shop, but that's who I am.
Now, Elaine, we have Fiona, who I take it has just joined us, and she says sometimes it takes hard work to find our voice and to be able to express it without guilt. Here.
That's true.
Yeah, and also Fiona is asking, could you give her a reading? Her numbers are the 9th of the 3rd, 1969. Few 9s in there.
Yep. So the 9 is the humanitarian. The 9 is all about headspace. Now, I'll just show you. I'm just doing this. You have to excuse my writing, Fiona. Can you see that?
Yes.
See the 9s?
Oh, wow.
When you add them up, it comes to 9.
Yes.
So it's saying with the 9s, it's all about the mind. So, and she's got the 3 there and the 6. So that means mind, body, spirit. All right. It means I need to speak up. I want to be creative, but I want to care for everyone like the 6 is. But the 9s are saying I may step back a bit and watch. And then having that, watching people picking up all the little bits or the big bits, doesn't matter. They could be very strong in their faith, or they could be very strong in their the way they present themselves as in a spiritual guru and things like that. But they're speaking up first. Their first number is, the 9 is I'm using, they come across as in friendly and open and always wanting to help. Sometimes it could be the opposite, where they close the door and they go, no, I've got to think about this. Because if I draw the 9, right? Ooh, can you see that? Funny looking 9. That is your head. That's your head. And that's your spine. All right. If I draw a 6, well, where are we? Camera. Oh, there we go.
There you are. Yeah.
That is creating. So that is your your creative center. So the 6 is baby. And then you go up and that's your spine. All right. So she has that creative side in her, and she's got to write things down. If it gets an overload, then Fiona's got to write it down. And if she's got great ideas, because sometimes they make very good writers. All right. So if she's writing or doing anything that she wants to step into, it's saying write it down first, because she's back here maybe to be more creative, and she will have people following her, as not in creepy follow, but in the way people will always look up to her, even though she may not think this, because she can be very judgmental about herself. And see here, if you can see that bit there, there's no numbers in here.
Right.
That line there. So that line is saying she is developing her way through understanding people as in their emotions as well. And they know. So this year she will be in, so that's 10, 19, it's 20, 19 and 6 is 25. That's a 7, 3, 9, 10, 19. She's a 10-1. She's back here to learn again. But the 10-1 is talking about standing tall responsibility. Now, she could be in a job where there is a lot of responsibility, and she could be very good in administration and things like that, where a lot of women will be drawn to her. But the 1 means opening new doors, allowing new things to come in instead of shutting the door on it. It's also the 0 is all about magnifying things so she can see it. If she asks, she will, and especially with the top line full, that's really connecting. So she may be very spiritual with her angels or guides, or she could be not everyone, because I'm a life number 3 and I'm not artistic in any way. But I used to do coffee art. So, and I crochet things. So that's my creativity. See, and with Fiona, she's allowing her creativity to come out. Now, in her headspace, because it's all above head, she's very connected to the universe. And when she asks for something, because her day 3 is more powerful than the rest, it's looking at communication skills and allowing herself to, it's the, how can I put it? It's the entertainer, like having, because 6 is having a long table, having all your family around. Now, there could be a female issue there. 3 and 6 sometimes have female issues with families or friends. So it's looking at sorting them all out. And the 1 means every day is a new beginning for me. All right. So, but having that sensing feeling line not there, she will pick up in her months as well. So, say like you have your personal month, it could be like March, but she could be in a 6 month. So that's saying I'm looking at family. All right. And the 3 saying you need to communicate with family.
Yeah.
If you get my drift. So with her this year, that's 3, she's in a completion year. So completion meaning sweeping the old out to welcoming the new, looking at tidying things up around her, anything that's not finished, picking up and finishing it. It's like even if she's a sewer, then she sews things, she's got to complete it. Issues around family and friends or work colleagues, it's looking at it and saying, okay, I'm changing this. I'm leaving the old behind. Send love and light to the old, because she can't change what's happened in the past, but she can look for her future and say, I am going to move forward, because she doesn't need to carry things on her shoulders anymore, because it's weighing her down. All right. Her year number, universal number, she was born, is 10, 19, and 7. So, no, it's a 20. Yeah, that's right. So it's more about her stop self-sacrificing things. The 7, they say, is the Jesus number. That's why I keep saying self-sacrifice.
Right.
All right. And it's saying not to put her life on hold for everyone, because she's got the 9s. 9s will, even though she can't change what's happening in the world, she can just send that thought out, a drop in the ocean, and that will sprinkle out. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that, Fiona.
Well, Fiona's written back, Elaine, and said, I'm asking so many questions lately. Sometimes I get answers, other times I go off my inner intuition. One day longer, one day stronger. I've stood up to work colleagues because I honoured my beliefs. Yay!
That's fantastic, Fiona. And you'll do that. It's like, don't put the rubbish around me. Because I feel with Fiona, she likes, we'll see the 3 represents childlike. I love to have fun, as you can tell. I love to have fun, and it's all simple stuff, as in just the finest things in life, or it could be the little things like closing your door when you get home from work and saying, oh, I've got my beautiful armchair, I'm going to watch all my Vampire Diaries or whatever, and I have a bowl of popcorn or chocolate or whatever. It's nurturing yourself as well, and sometimes we don't get that. Yeah. But see, with Fiona, it's more about allowing things to happen and then just push what you don't want. It's the pick and choose, but not having a outcome, just allowing things to roll through. She sounds very, I feel with her energy, Fiona can be, I like, it's the 5, so it's like, I need my freedom, right? So it's saying, don't cage me in, as if she's caged in. It's like, oh.
Well, Fiona's
is that all right, Fiona?
Fiona's
Sorry.
saying, absolutely, I work with children and every day is rewarding.
Yeah, it is. It's very real. And it's funny how women say to me, oh, I work this and this and this. It's always about politics in the work, in the areas they work. And sometimes they say, oh, this one person is so nasty, blah, blah, blah. But that person is like that to everyone, not just one person. Everyone that comes in, say you left because of her, that person will do the same to the next person, because that's their life. That's their life learning. That's what they do. All right. But they're there to push our buttons and to give us an inner strength to say that's your perspective or your belief or whatever. That's not mine. You know, it's like you can't control. People feel they have to do it straight down the line, but sometimes you can't do it straight down the line.
Well, Fiona's saying, OMG, so spot on. I always think, don't fence me in.
I'm with you on that, Fiona.
Elaine, our time has gone. How amazing.
My goodness.
I know. Just poof. When you're having fun, look what happens.
I love what I do, and I do what I love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, says Fiona. I needed this today. There you go. See, people tune in. If we were talking about this before the show, Elaine, weren't we? How, it's so important that we trust and know that we are guided. And if we're unsure about what the day holds, to be able to put out a little prayer and may I be of service, may my spirits be lifted, whatever we feel that we would like to do.
Yeah, as long as I find too, if we can control the outcome, it doesn't work. So you just put out your ideas, what your desires are, and just leave it. Just yes.
A lovely, lovely, lovely message to end the show on. Thank you, Elaine.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. Bye, everyone.
Now, everybody, I would like to remind you that you can reach out to Elaine on Angel Heart Radio, and please put your thoughts down there. You can rewatch this show, and that's always very helpful to people who have had readings, because sometimes we don't take it all in at the same time. So feel free to take a look again at the show. Elaine will return in a month's time. And next week, I have the pleasure of having Kate Raymond with me, a very gorgeous angel lady, shall we say. So please join me next week. In the meantime, make sure that whatever you do brings you love. And share your love with everyone as you love, fun and laughter, I think, are really important.